wanted to give you guys a quick video on how to do the algebra review. All right, so let me see if I can make this just a little bit bigger. And of course I can't because all right, here we go. All right, guys, so the first one, we're just going to solve a simple equation. And in order to do that, we're going to have to isolate the variables. So we're going to subtract. All right, guys, I'm going to start over here. Hello, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to show you guys how to work this review. So if you had any questions, you could get it done. So on this first one, we need to isolate our variable. So we are going to add 7 to both sides. And that's going to get rid of our 7s. We can bring down our 5k. Negative 52 plus 7 is going to give us a negative 45. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And that's going to give me k equals negative 9. All right, let's take a look at number 2. So for number 2, we want to do the same thing. We're going to have to get this 4/3 x by itself. And in order to do that, I'm going to have to subtract my 5 from both sides. So my 5s are going to go away, and that's going to give me a negative 8 here. I'm going to bring down my 4/3 x. And then let's remember that big word that we're going to use. We're going to multiply both sides by the reciprocal. And if you guys can take a minute and remember, the reciprocal is that number that takes our fraction and flips it. So we're going to both multiply both sides times 3/4. So that means this part is going to cancel out, and I'm going to have an x all by itself. And then if I multiply negative 8 times 3, that's going to give me negative 24. And then over 4, which will reduce to a negative 6. All right, I'm going to skip over here to number 6, and then I'll go down and do the rest of the page. So number 6, it looks a little tricky, but we need to remember that the first thing we have to always do is to distribute. So if we distribute our number, we take here, I'm going to take my 3x, and I'm going to multiply my 3 times my 1. It's going to give me 3. And then I'm just going to rewrite my 5. I didn't do anything to it. I'm going to take and rewrite my 3x minus 2. And now I need to think, what is my next step that I need to do? Well, I need to combine like terms. So I'm just going to write CLT. So if you take a look at what you can combine, we can combine our 3 minus 5, which is going to give me 3x minus 2. And then on the other side, I'm also going to have 3x minus 2. Now, if you take a look at that, you might notice that 3x minus 2 is the same as 3x minus 2, but let's work it out and see. So let's get our number away from it. And so I added 2 to both sides, and that leaves me with 3x equals 3x. We can continue that by dividing by 3. So x equals x. So basically I can plug any number I want into this equation and it will be true. So my answer to this would be all real numbers. And remember to write that. You just make 2 lines and then you make your R and then you have your answer. All right, number 7, we have some double distribution. We need to distribute on both sides. So I'm going to take my 4 and distribute it to my 2y. So that's 8y. Take my 4 and distribute it to my negative 1. So that's a negative 4. I'm going to take my negative 10 and distribute it to my y, which is a negative 10y. Then I'm going to take my negative 10 and distribute it to my negative 5, which a negative times a negative is going to give me a positive 50. So I've done my distribution. Can I combine any terms? I don't have any terms on either side of the equation that I can combine. So now I need to move my smallest variable. So now we're over here at step 3 where we're going to solve. So if I want to move my smallest variable, I'm going to move my negative 10y. So I'm going to add 10y to both sides. And then this is going to cancel out. 8y plus 10y is going to give me 18. I'm going to bring down my negative 4. And I'm going to bring down my 50. Now I'm going to still need to isolate the y, so I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I'm going to bring it over here. 18y equals 54. And if I divide both sides by 18, y is going to equal 3. All right, let's move the page. Let's see if we can move it down. Oh, that's lovely, don't you think? All right, let me get rid of all of these annotations. And let's do some more. All right, let's look at number 3. All right, so number 3. Oh, sorry about that. We need to try to get our y by itself. So we're going to add 2 to both sides. Y divided by 3, this goes away, becomes 6. So what is the opposite or the inverse of y divided by 3? Well, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. And by multiplying both sides by 3, that will cancel this 3 out. I get y equals 18. All right, the next one, we give you a hint. We're going to multiply our negative 3 times our x and our negative 3 times our negative 1. Bring down our 2. And then you can combine those like terms. So your 2, oh, I am so sorry. I did not multiply the 3 times the negative 1. So that needs to be a 3. So we're going to combine this 2 here and this 3 here, which is going to be 5. All right. So now I'm going to need to move my 5. So this is a positive 5, so I can subtract 5 from both sides. 20 minus 5 is 15. And then if I divide by negative 3, x is going to be negative 5. All right, over here, I'm not going to work this whole thing, but I'm going to tell you that this becomes 9s plus 16 equals negative 56. And at the very end, s is going to equal negative 8. All right, what is the value of x that makes this equation true? So basically, that's just a different way to say solve for x. So only thing different here is I have some beautiful decimals. So I am going to add 5 to both sides. That is going to cross this one out. I'm going to bring down my 0.6x. I'm going to bring down my 0.1x. And I'm going to know that 7 plus 5 is 12. All right, so now I can subtract out that smallest variable. So that is going to give me a 0.5x equals 12. If I divide both sides by 0.5, x is going to equal 24. Now you might have moved the x's first on that one, and that's totally fine. I'm sorry, that's not 0.24. That is an actual 24. So you might have moved your x's on that one first, and that's totally fine. You'll get the same answer. It just, I guess, made sense to me to move that negative number first. All right, on number 5. I'm not going to work through this one all the way, but you need to distribute your 6. So that gives you 6y. 6 times 5 is 30, equals 18. Pretty sure you guys know how to do the rest. So at the end of the day, y is going to equal 8. All right, simplify. Let's remember that simplify does not mean solve. It just means combine like terms. So I'm going to look at my x squared here and here. And 10x squared minus 4x squared is going to give me 6x squared. Now, if I look at what else I can combine this negative 9x, this negative 7x, and this positive 5x. I'll put all those together. That's going to give me a negative 11x, and that is your answer. All right, we're going to move the paper again. Come on, there we go. Get rid of our handwriting and do it again. Okay, simplify. What does simplify mean? Combine like terms. There's no equal sign. I cannot solve. But we do have a double set of distribution here. So the first thing I need to do is distribute my 6. So that's going to give me 6x. 6 times 5 is 30. Just for funsies, we're going to switch colors. I'm going to distribute my negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 4 is a positive 12. Negative 3 times x is a negative 3x. So you can see I color-coded how I distributed my numbers there. Now I'm going to combine like terms. So I'm going to combine my x's with my x's. So 6x minus 3x is going to give me 3x. If I combine my numbers, negative 30 and 12, that is going to give me 18. And let me darken that up for you. That's going to be 3x minus 18. All right, number 14. Emily wants to go on a run, and she wants to run a total of 143 miles. So I'm going to go ahead and make this equal to 143 because we know that's the total amount that she wants to run. She is going to run an average of 5.5 miles. Right here's our key, per week. Anytime I see a per, that means I need to multiply it by a variable. So I'm going to go ahead and add my x. Then all we need to do is divide by 5.5. And we will learn after dividing that Miss Emily is going to need to run 26 miles per week. Pretend that says miles. Apparently I can't spell this late in the evening. All right, let's look at number 12. Area equals length times width, and we need to solve for width. So I like to circle my variable that I'm solving for because I don't want to move it. So if I don't want to move my W, I'm going to have to move my L. So the opposite of multiplying by L is to divide by L. So I now have A divided by L. My L's are going to cross out, equals W. That is my answer because I cannot divide A and L unless I know what those numbers are. So remember, in literal equations, you just leave them exactly how they are and manipulate the letters. All right, solve for y. All right, so here's my trick for solving for y. Let's circle our y. We do not want to move that y under any circumstances. So to get y by itself, I have 3x plus 5y. What is the opposite of addition? Well, it is subtraction. So I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. So my 3x's are going to go away, and I'm going to bring down my 5y. But here's where everybody makes the mistake. Wait. Can I add letters and numbers? No, I cannot. So I'm going to put my x first because I like to have my x term first, and then I'm going to bring down my negative 20. Now, I need to get rid of this 5, so I need to divide each term by your coefficient. So I need to divide this by 5 and this by 5. So that gives me a 1, so y equals 3 over 5 cannot be simplified, so negative 3 over 5x. Ooh, suddenly my pen moved. And then 20 over 5 is 4. Ooh, I do not know what happened there. That says y equals negative 3/5 x minus 4. All right, let's take a look at our last one. We have a rectangle with a perimeter of 44. So if the bottom here is 3x minus 8, then the top is 3x minus 8. And if this side over here is x plus 10, then this side is also x plus 10. I am sorry about that. Let's see if we can fix that. So this is also x plus 10. So my iPad has currently gone crazy. So now we need to add all of our letters together. So this was my 3x. Oh my word, this is a 3x. This is an x, and this is an x. So listen to my words. If I have 3x plus 3x, that is 6x. And x plus x is 2x. So 6x and 2x is going to give me 8x. Now I need to add all my numbers. So I have negative 8 and 10. So negative 8, which is here, negative 8 plus 10 is 2. And negative 8 on the other two sides is also 2. So I'm going to have 8x plus 4. Then we're going to set that equal to our perimeter, which is 44. I'm going to stop screen sharing for a minute here and see if I can get this fixed. All right, let's go here and do this. And let's try that one again. Okay, let's try that again. All right, I'm going to try to use my finger and see if that works. Bear with me. All right, so this is going to be 3x minus 8. This is going to be x plus 10. All right, so I need to add all my x's up. So I have 3x and x and 3x and x. So I'm going to write it up here. 3x plus x plus 3x plus x. So that gives me 8x. All right, now I need to add my numbers. And I'd like to change colors if it will let me. So I have a negative 8 and a 10 and a negative 8 and a 10. So 10 and 10 is 20. And then 20 minus 8 is 18 minus 8 more is 10. And that did not work either. It's minus 16. It's 4. Oh my, I'm tired. Okay, so there's our equation. 8x plus 4 equals 44. And if we solve all of that, it's going to give us x equals 5. All right, but let's read the question. I know I've written all over it, but the question says solve for x, and what is the length and what is the width? So I'm going to come over here. My length is going to be x plus 10. So I need to take this x right here and I need to plug it in. So instead of writing an x, I'm going to write a 5 plus 10. So my length is going to be 15. And then for my width, I'm just going to take the other side, 3x minus 8. 3 times 5 minus 8. So 15 minus 8 is going to be 7. So I would have two answers on this, 7 and 15. All right, guys, thanks for bearing through the end of that video with me. And hopefully you guys are going to all rock this test. I'm going to post the vocab right underneath the video so that if you need to know what these words mean, you will have them. Have a great evening.